So I just spent a few days, a couple of nights at the Humboldt Vihara, which is always a very enjoyable experience to go up there. It's hopefully going to be a place for a future monastery, and the land has not been given yet, but it's on offer from a very kind donor. And I was just reflecting about Ajahn Yanako is about to return. He's been gone for 5 weeks. And there's mostly, I'm feeling very joyful that he's coming back because I like Ajahn Yanako. He's a good friend, but he's also the abbot. And I'm happy not being the abbot, so it sort of feels nice or relieving when he comes back. But admittedly, there's also a part of me that usually feels a little bit of trepidation because I know I have to readjust, I have to recalibrate things. So it kind of, when Ajahn Yanako leaves, there's a bit of a sense of, oh right, yeah, I'm the last one in line now. And he asked me to look after things. He keeps calling me Vice Abbot, and so there's that sort of, okay, stepping up, doing things, and I try to not get too excited about, okay, now he's gone, now I can do all the things I want to do, and with like projects or whatever. I don't mean immoral things. But then it's like, oh yeah, well, it's not really, there's nothing I would do without already knowing that he wouldn't want me to do it. So it's sort of more just kind of stepping into that role and being a bit jostled by it sometimes. I mean, it's not you've heard the expression, it's not easy up at the top, and I would agree. It's something where I can kind of feel somewhat comfortable doing it, and then other times where, yeah, it's kind of a sense, I'd rather not be doing this. But if I was only relating to it that way and not using it as a source of Dhamma, as something that can inform me about my understanding of the Buddhist teachings, then it's just kind of a waste of something, because otherwise it just seems like a job to do. And it's just sort of ho-hum, okay, Ajahn Yanako's gone and he's coming back. And so it's always helpful for me to try to keep coming back to that. What is it like right now? What is the experience? How am I situating like what I'm doing, and that it's temporary, and that I sometimes will then keep it in a space in my mind around like, well, this is going to be over soon and I don't have to deal with this, and on, and it's just more projection about something. It's keeping it as a condition and sometimes not seeing it. So just trying to use the position, kind of the temporary position of being moved into this, and then becoming kind of more in the background, and trying to just help Ajahn Yanako as the abbot. It's helpful to see, and so I think all of us are very aware of these times when we move in and out of temporary things, like just like the head cook being the head cook. Okay, I'm the head cook today, and then all of a sudden one's not the head cook, or I'm the kitchen manager now, and then Garrett was just the kitchen manager for about 10 days, and now Anagarga Sham's the kitchen manager, Anagarga Garrett's no longer doing that. And is there relief about that, or is there kind of jealousy, or is there sort of a sense of like, oh, it doesn't really matter? And the way that we see that is just looking at, are we suffering? Is there suffering around this? We take on these responsibilities. They're just different hats. And so just like wearing a hat, you wear it for some time, and then when there's no longer a reason to wear it, you take it off. And it's doubtful that people, when they don't have a reason to wear a hat anymore, and they take off their hat. Oh no, I can't. I really don't want to part with this hat. Put it here temporarily. I just want to leave it on and sleep with it and be with it all the time. Just that neutrality we have with just, okay, we have something, we use it, we're there with it, we're responsible for it, and then we just take it off. Just as easy as that. And it's not that the goal is necessarily to just feel nothing, but it's more like, how is this a relationship to Dhamma? Each time we do something, each chore we take on, whatever it is that we're doing, when we take it up and when we leave it, what is the experience of that? And how can we utilize that kind of putting down of something as a source of understanding, just letting go. So Lumpur Pasano is very famous for saying that when he was the abbot here, he would finish his work down here in the cloister, and then he'd walk up to his kuti, and when he walked up to his kuti, the monastery disappeared. His responsibilities disappeared. He said that he wouldn't bring that back with him to his dwelling, and he would be there enjoying his time in the afternoon without really thinking about being the abbot or the responsibilities he had. And that is a very important thing for all of us to learn how to do, because otherwise we're just regurgitating, and these thoughts in our mind, we're kind of bringing them up and obsessing about them, and not really developing that ability to put things down as quickly as we possibly can, and learning what it's like to let go and to see what is best for our mind, what to take up that's best for our mind, and not get involved with those things that just aren't really helpful. So I'll leave that for reflection this morning.